as I found myself slowly getting accustomed to the new normal in this post-lockdown phase. I knew for sure that I was to also get accustomed to this whole new way of being and living, this whole new me. Which is when I realized that 2020 was the year of blessings in disguise. And if I were to truly unlock this genie within, I were to discover and uncover those blessings in disguise. Which is when I realized that I was already doing it. The day I discovered the feeling of being like a genie trapped in the lamp. And then uncovering ways to unlocking this genie, which led me to create this 6-part video series of COVID 20 ways to unlock the genie within. And so, as I was introspecting and reflecting on this 4th and final key of letting dreams blossom, this time around I was reminded of not one but 2 quotes, once again from the Disney movie Aladdin, where the genie says, "The more you gain by pretending, the less you're gonna actually have. And let's make some magic, but remember, be yourself." And so, in this final part of the 6-part video series COVID 20 ways to unlock the genie within, I share with you how I use this 4th and final key of letting dreams blossom, along with my 4th breakdown of COVID, which is change, optimist, victory, immunity, and dare to dream big, towards my 3 intentions, so that this final key can finally help me unlock the genie within. And I hope to inspire you to do the same. Hi everyone, I'm Ronak and welcome to Me and You. Just a quick note to all who haven't yet watched the previous parts or have missed out on a part or 2. I truly recommend that you go ahead and watch them first, so that you can resonate with what I'm saying in this part, so that you can also begin or continue from where you've left your journey of unlocking the genie within. You'll find the links to all the videos in the description box below, along with the link to download the free PDF printable to aid you to write it all down, to ink as you think, and act as a guide for your future reference. So are you willing and ready to begin your journey to unlocking your genie within? And I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and remember to click on that notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. Now you can also start walking with me on Instagram, where I regularly create illustrative posts on self-transformation through introspection, reflection, and shadow work. You can also support me and join me on Patreon, so that I can bring more in-depth illustrative posts, blogs, and vlogs to help you on your path to self-transformation. So just a brief recap of all the previous parts. It all began with the lockdown 2020. A blessing in disguise to transform an adversity into an opportunity. For me, it was an opportunity to come to an understanding that if this lockdown, in the comfort surrounding of my home and family, could make me feel like a genie trapped in the lamp, then it was time to unlock this genie within during the lockdown itself. Which led me to create this 6-part video series of transforming the COVID-19, the lockdown 2020, into a COVID 20 ways to unlock the genie within. But the first part showed me how to have my breakdown of COVID 20 ways in words, leading me to the second part in the video series of empowering me with knowledge of what genie truly means, and then helping me strengthen my commitment needed to walk through this process with a strong sense of why. And from there on, gifting me 4 keys to use it along with my 4 breakdowns of COVID in the third part of the video series, to help me turn my dream of self-transformation into a reality by guiding me to create my 3 intentions, using the first key of Imagine the Magic Inside from the Disney movie Beauty and the Beast, along with my first breakdown of COVID, which was creativity, originality, vision, ikigai and declutter. Leading me to the fourth part in the video series, where I learned to use the second key of Give Voice to Your Dreams from the Disney movie The Little Mermaid, along with my second breakdown of COVID, which was change, optimize, values, intuition, Disney codes to live by towards my 3 intentions. Leading me to discover new paths in life, in the fifth part of the video series, where I learned to use the third key of Discover New Paths from the Disney movie Pocahontas, along with the third breakdown of COVID, which was confidence, Olaf, vibes, innovate, do it, towards my 3 intentions. And I hope to have inspired you to do the same up till now. And here we are in this last part of the series, where we are to use this fourth and final key of Letting Dreams Blossom from the Disney movie Mulan, along with our fourth breakdown of COVID. For me, it is change, optimist, victory, immunity and dare to dream big. So are you willing to walk with me today as we each use this fourth and final key of Letting Dreams Blossom? So are you ready to walk with me on this final step to unlocking the genie within? Then join me and support me by subscribing to this channel if you haven't done so already. So the first question was, what does it mean letting dreams blossom? And as I was reflecting on it, I realized that it meant to allow, to be in a state of allowing, to let my dream of self-transformation blossom naturally and gradually, just like a state of flowering edible fruits. I had already planted this seed of me and you the day I started creating these introspective videos. And it has been more than a year since then that I've regularly watered this seed of me and you, this seed of self-transformation. And this fourth key was teaching me that it was now time to let this dream blossom, and that I no longer needed to make things happen. I just had to let it happen after having done my part. So the next question was, what am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to just sit and wait for the fruits to come in? Am I supposed to, meanwhile, just make some space in my life, in myself, in order to receive it? What am I supposed to do now? And as I found myself reflecting on it, I realized that when I began on this journey of self-transformation, when I started on this journey of me and you, I had no idea what was going to come out of it. Nor did I think about the long-term benefits or whether I was making a living out of it. I just knew I had to do this. And for more than a year, all I have done is just that. All I have done is learn and dig deep enough to listen to the words that came in silence and act on them. It has all been about taking the next step and then the next, which is why I've never really given much thought to the bigger picture, nor did I dream about the bigger picture. Taking my dreams higher was all about self-transformation that I so longed for. Which is where I was suddenly reminded of a quote where the genie says, the more you gain by pretending, the less you're actually going to have. Unfortunately, when it comes to building me and you, through creating these introspective videos, the illustrative posts, this channel, the website, the blogs, I have done everything but pretend. And this quote allows me to see just that. But then the question still was, how am I to let these dreams blossom? And as I was reflecting on it, I found that this fourth and final key opened 2 doors simultaneously. one on the inside, which automatically opened the door on the outside. Which is where my fourth breakdown of COVID, which is change, optimist, victory, immunity, dare to dream big, this time around didn't come to rescue but rather came to show me that changes were happening internally even if I couldn't see them yet. For they were occurring deep within, and at the same time bringing forth a door which I didn't know existed before, making me feel optimistic, even though the year 2020 so far brought along with it a whole lot of turmoil and disturbance. Showing me that staying optimistic was not just about staying positive, but rather about having enough trust that no matter how these changes would occur, I would emerge victorious both internally and externally. And meanwhile, all I had to do was increase my immunity and become immune to my old ways of being and living so as to not get pulled into them. Which I were to do, not by daring to dream big, but rather daring to dream the bigger picture as to where I saw my self-transformation leading me towards, as to where I saw my self-transformation moving me forwards. That's when it suddenly struck me that this fourth and final key was doing just that, moving me forward and towards a life where I would be living by my three intentions, living life from my true authentic self, where I was the best version of myself, building and expanding me and you to its optimum. That's where I was suddenly reminded of the second quote where the genie says, "Let's make some magic, but remember, be yourself." It's only when I am living life from my true authentic self will I ask the genie to create the kind of magic that doesn't benefit me personally, but rather serves the mankind as a whole. Which led me to the last question as to why it is important to let dreams blossom on its own time. And as I found myself reflecting on it, it suddenly struck me that even though I was just one step away to unlocking the genie within, and even though I was just so ready for the genie to create some magic, this period of letting dreams blossom on its own accord, this period of letting dreams blossom on its own time was teaching me that my part in this dream creation was to plant the seed, water it and nurture it regularly, and continue doing so, and leave the rest to happen naturally and gradually, just like the flowering of an edible fruit. And the same way, if I were to truly unlock the genie within, I were to allow it to come out on its own accord. I had done my part. I have planted my seed of self-transformation and created my three intentions. Had watered it and nurtured it regularly by introspecting and reflecting, using these 4 keys along with the 4 breakdowns of COVID. I have done my part and offered the hand of friendship and kinship. Now it's time for the genie to do its part. And that is why it's not just about rubbing the lamp of conditioned mind and body thrice to let the genie out. It is not about being the master of the genie, but rather about being his friend, so that when the genie is finally out, he can say, "You ain't never got a friend like me." So the same way, ask yourself the same questions as I have and find out what answers come to you from within, using this 4th and final key of letting dreams blossom, along with your 4th breakdown of COVID towards your 3 intentions. Because remember, the one thing that this COVID-19 and the lockdown 2020 has taught us is that even though we are socially distant, we are in this together. And the same way, even though we are walking on our own individual paths in life, on our own individual journeys in life, with this and during this 6-part video series, we have worked together as we each learn to transform this COVID-19 and the lockdown 2020 into a COVID-20 ways to unlock the genie within. And that is why this channel is not about following one another, but rather about walking together, me and you, as we each strive to be the change that we want to see in our world. I am Ronak and I thank you very much for walking with me today and throughout this entire video series. I truly hope that this has helped you and empowered you enough to move forward on your path in life. As always, I look forward for you to sharing it all with me in the comments below. If you found this video and this video series helpful, do like and share it with like-minded people and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Now you can also support me on Patreon so that I can regularly bring more such life-transforming, life-changing video series to help you on your journey in life. Until next time, I thank you very much.